So if you clicked on this video, you are probably curious if Splatoon 3 is a good game or not, and that's exactly what I'll be telling you in this video. Also note that these are my personal opinions. I respect yours. If you have Splatoon 3, then share your thoughts on the game in the comment section. I'll read through all of them, literally every single one. So this video will be put into 5 categories: the intro to the game, the gameplay, the weapons, the story mode, and last but not least, any extra features the game has. So Splatoon 3 starts off with you in a desert. Here you get to customize your Inkling character. There are some pretty cool customization options. One thing I do want to mention is that they actually remove genders. So instead of selecting your gender at the beginning, you just go straight into the Inkling. At the beginning of the other Splatoon games, you do get to choose if you want to be a boy or a girl. It just gives you stuff that can, I guess, be used for both now instead. There's also, you get to create like a little pet as well. You don't get much customizing him, however, you do get to change his hairstyle. And after that, you and your little pet just get on a train and head out to the Splatsville, which is where the game takes place. So we haven't really played Salmon Run or the Anarchy battles. However, I will talk about the turf wars. If you're new to Splatoon, basically you're put into 2 teams of 4. Each team is given a color. You shoot ink. You shoot your color ink basically, and you have to try to cover the map. And after like 3 minutes, whichever team has the most ink on the map wins. Now it's like that in all 3 Splatoon games. The maps are cool, I guess, but like the gameplay does feel a lot like Splatoon 2. Not really much has changed. The weapons are actually pretty bad. I mostly use rollers and focus on covering up the map. The new weapons added, I don't really care for that much, but I guess they're okay. Honestly, just use the older weapons. In fact, if you're new to Splatoon, you're not even going to know which weapons of the item shop are new to Splatoon 3. They just updated the item shop, and some things that were added are pretty bad. But again, just don't use those weapons. The game does have a story mode. In the lobby, if you go over to the sewer shown on the map, you can actually go inside it. The story follows a story about the Great Zapfish, in the Octorians. The gameplay in story mode is actually a lot of fun. I haven't beaten it yet, but so far it's a ton of fun. It's got levels, it's got boss fights, even got cutscenes and everything. It's an amazing thing to have. Definitely recommend it. So, for the first thing I want to talk about, I wouldn't really call it an extra feature. However, I feel like if I do a Splatoon 3 review, this kind of needs to be in it. And that's the news reporters. They change this in every game. I don't know their names off the top of my head. I think it's like Shiver and Fry and then Big Man. Also, when I went to Google it on a note, when I went to go Google it, my notepad actually ended up crashing. So just comment them down below. It's not really that important, so I'm not going to bother with the names. If you do know, just let me know in the comments below. Like I said, I'll be reading through all of them. I have a feeling that no one's actually going to, but I mean, if you can, I appreciate it. I know you can just find out by opening up the game, but I also know that I'm wasting too much time talking about the names of the news reporters, so I'm going to move on to the next extra feature, which is actually skipping the news. So, when you open up the game, basically, you have to deal with these 2 characters just talk about the game. Like, here's these cool maps, here are random jokes that no one actually finds funny, and now you can actually skip it, which I think is really cool. The only times when you can't skip it is if it's something like a Splatfest, but in that case, most people wouldn't even want to, so that's cool. There are 2 more things left to talk about, one of them being the turf war lobby. You can now walk around and practice firing your weapon. Now, last but not least is Splatsville. This is where the main game takes place. It's actually different from the other Splatoon games. It takes place in Inkopolis, so that's different. I actually like the new one better. The city's bigger, which I actually really like. I think that the new news reporters are actually the worst ones we've seen. So, is Splatoon 3 worth it? The part you have all been waiting for. The intro 10 out of 10, very cool, and a big improvement from their games. Next up, we have the gameplay. I'll give the gameplay like an 8 out of 10. Good, but we've seen it before. The weapons are like a 4 out of 10. They weren't like that good. The story mode is a 10 out of 10. Very fun to play. Additional features is a 9 out of 10. Now I'm going to average those in a calculator, and we end up with an 8.2, which is out of 10, of course. Now I'm going to say a 9 out of 10. I know this video gave it 8, but I'd say it's better than that. I think it's the weapons that brought it down. Now, before you go and buy it, I want to warn you, it does require a Nintendo Switch Online membership for $20 a year, or I don't know what currency these guys use, wherever you guys are from. Also, the game is $59.99 plus tax USD, and shipping if you're going to order a physical copy online. It is a fun game. I think my favorite Switch game still stands as Super Mario Odyssey. With that being said, I'm going to wrap this video up here. If you enjoyed this content, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. It really helps me out. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully I'll see you in the next video. Bye everyone.